Hello everyone, this is Dr. Tammy from the Biostatistics Learning Group. So we are carrying on here, analytic constraints of secondary data. The most important element of analyzing the match between secondary data and one analytic needs is the extent to which the data collection includes information that is central to the theoretical or analytic model being tested. The analyst needs to be able to create a defensible model that includes all relevant constructs and ensure that they are represented with valid measures, as well as control variables. An existing data set may not be helpful if a key construct was not assessed. For example, if there is an omitted variable, that is a measure from the model that cannot be captured by the data, that biases the interpretation of the results. The data would not be suitable for the research question. So fortunately, most federally funded data collections are designed in consultation with panels of experts, and close attention is given to including constructs and broad measures to provide the widest understanding of the issues being studied. Investigation based on scientific literature can provide the basis for these decisions. Another consideration when selecting an existing data source is whether the data meet one specific analytic needs. One aspect of this is whether the sample size is adequate to model the behavior, statuses, and aptitude or attitudes in which one is interested. Many of the large survey data collections have ample sample sizes to support a complex analytic models. However, certain demographic subgroups within national or large regional sample may be difficult to study depending on the representation in the sample and population. Some groups may be oversampled to increase statistical power. This is sometimes true when analyzing certain racial and ethnic minority groups that are relatively less common in the US population. As a consequence, most major data collections oversample at least the majority or the major racial and ethnic minority groups, African Americans, Latino, so that meaningful within group and between group analysis can be conducted. For statistical analyses, data must then be weighted to properly account for oversampling and other characteristics of the sample. Finally, it's important to consider whether the study covers the appropriate time frame and or cover aspect on change over time in a way that is consistent with one's research question. Or a data collection may be cross-sectional in design and therefore not well suited to answer questions about change over time or developmental trajectories. Thus, this limits the applicability of secondary data for certain research questions. I hope you enjoyed the information. I ask you to kindly follow up us on Twitter to being connected. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy.